So get up.
Top of the morning to ya.
Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 33 minutes after the hour, Craig Froenig in on the Sunrise Show, and thrilled to welcome in Dr. Mark Christian. He's the founder, executive director of Global Faith Institute in Omaha, Nebraska. GlobalFaithInstitute.org is the website. And as converted, born-again Christian. He was raised in Egypt as and worked, groomed as the Muslim Brotherhood and an imam, and did all of that, read through the Quran multiple times, memorized it, and then, of course, an OBGYN doctor by trade, and now he converted while he was there to becoming a born-again Christian. And Dr. Mark Christian, it's great to have you on the program this morning.
It's an honor to be your show. Thank you.
Well, you've got to be watching in the Middle East, and now as Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, is coming to address the United States in the House of Representatives, and this isn't the first time, he's been there before, and how hard the Obama administration tried to dissuade him from coming, whether it was the elections, whether it was the sanctions on Iran. That's the front story. But it's so odd that you wouldn't, don't you think that as an ally to Israel, that you would involve your ally with the sanctions and with the peace talks?
100% true. Benjamin Netanyahu was on his way to the United States anyway to address AIPAC, the biggest Israeli lobbyist in the United States of America and the oldest. And in his visit, some key leaders of the Congress invited him to address the Congress while he was over here already. And then, as you have seen very clearly, that the current administration, led by President Obama, is opposing his appearance in front of the Congress in every way possible. And then we were surprised by another report that came out that talks about Netanyahu wants to take matters in his own hands and protect his own people from the threats that is imposed on Israel on a regular basis, on a daily basis, on hourly basis by Iran, and wants to shoot down their nuclear facilities. And in response to that, President Obama told him out clearly that if you take matters in your hand, we will shoot your own planes. So for the first time, I think, in history, since the beginning of Israel in 1948 and the announcement of the State of Israel, you have a direct threat from the United States of America towards Israeli planes that they're going to shoot them down. So this is, marks the very first ever downhill of the relationship between the current administration of the United States of America and the Israeli administration as well.
It's very sad to me that, because that relationship is there. And I was saying it earlier, doesn't Israel have the most to lose on these sanctions and anything else going on in the Middle East?
It's not only the most; they have everything to lose. Iran represents the real threat. The Middle East altogether actually represents the real threat. We are living over here in the comforts of our homes, talking about what's happening there. But for them, it is not there. It is next door. It's a bullet away. It's a car running their kids over in the streets away. It is a suicide bomber in their bus away. It is just happening on a regular basis. It's not something that they can take lightly, or they can even think about it. You know what? I will postpone this for next week. I'll talk about it next week. For them, it is immediate. It is right now. It is a real threat, and they cannot take it lightly. And they cannot let the current administration of the United States manipulate and play monopoly with their own security and their own safety and their mere existence as a nation in the midst of people who wants them dead and wants them to be eradicated.
Well, it's interesting, too, because El Sisi in Egypt, they've got major issues there. I mean, right there. And then was it the King of Jordan that said, well, they have got their own issues to deal with. And it doesn't seem to me like the U.S., the federal government of the United States is helping what's going on over there.
Yes, all the guards of the Middle East are in big trouble, and they are counting their days out of their office, and they know that very clearly. They are fighting the big fight. They are trying hard their best to oppose the Islamist movement, ushering in a new era in the Middle East and resurrecting the Islamist dream by starting a new Islamic empire and union again in the Middle East. And they are trying hard. Just today in Egypt, they woke up on 5 bombs exploding in 5 different courts and 7 people dead. That's became like a regular happening in Egypt right now. The same thing in Tunisia, the same thing in Libya, the same thing in Jordan. It's happening everywhere that the current and regimes and the old guards of the Middle East are falling apart, and they are not able to stand the wave that's coming on, and it's led by President Obama, unfortunately.
Exactly right, and this is where we talk about leadership all the time. And when you vacate, and the rest of the world finds out that you don't have strong leadership, they almost swoop in like birds of prey, like on roadkill. Now, interesting, Dr. Mark, you mentioned this American-Israeli Political Action Committee, or APEC, and he met yesterday, and he was cheered loudly, and standing behind him as far as his speech with the Congress. That's Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That comes out of Bloomberg this morning, and
it's a problem. To be honest with you, it's the biggest problem, actually, the split that we have between, different parties of the United States of America and even in Israel. There is people right now who start giving in, start to think that, it's time to compromise, start to bend backward, and you see that out loud. You see it on the media, you see it in behind doors, in different reports. There is people who are not liking Netanyahu right now because he's standing firm to protect the Israelis, and they think that the way he's doing it is not going to work, and they have to cave in. The same way in the United States of America right now, there is lots of people thinking, the best way to do it is to cave in, to let things go, to compromise, and to I don't know what to say actually, but it's the biggest problem that we have. The split that we are having in United States and also in Israel is going to be the main reason for our demise.
Yeah, Mark, very well said. When we come back, we've got Dr. Mark Christian on the program. I want to talk about his event on the 19th of March in the homeland coming up after the break.
Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Shout, I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 47 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show. Continuing with Dr. Mark Christian and the Global Faith Institute.org, in which Dr. Mark Christian is the executive director and founder of it. Comes out that actually a night to honor Israel. And Dr. Mark, you must be just beside yourself with this issue with Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu coming to speak to the Congress. I mean, that's a blessing in disguise. But then you fast forward to your event on the 19th, and of course it's on your website, but it's titled Israel in the Heartland, a night to honor Israel. You've got some incredible guests, and it looks like it's going to be an incredible evening. Talk about it.
It's a historical event, Greg. I'm so proud and blessed, to be honest with you, that God is putting me in this position. I'm a guy who does not take what's going on lightly, and I don't take it just for the for the face of it. I need to do something, and this is why I'm putting this event together. We have a time right now that anti-Semitic rise is unbelievable in the West and in America especially. We have no support for Israel right now at this point of time in many places, except very few people are understanding the issues and supporting Israel. This is why I'm putting this event together. When I started putting it together, Greg, I was amazed that in the Midwest, in the heartland, they never had any event in support of Israel before in the history. So look at it this way. An ex-Muslim, an ex-Sunni Muslim, an ex-Muslim Brotherhood family member, and an ex-Egyptian military person putting the very first pro-Israel event in the heartland of America. Isn't that by itself, something to think about, and it's a big blessing? This is exactly how I'm feeling about it right now. So in March 19, Greg, we are putting the very first ever in the history of the Midwest, in the history of the heartland, a pro-Israel event where we're going to have the Council General of Israel coming to speak. Wow. We have the President of Zionist of America organization coming to speak. We're going to have 2 Holocaust survivors, remarkable stories that every kid and every adult in the United States and in the West needs to hear. People who fought the good fight and did not come out of it destroyed, but came out of it to build their own lives and to build the society that they lived in. We have people who supported Israel for years to come and speak at this event. We are inviting everybody. It's not an event to do anything other to celebrate the story of a miracle called Israel, and to celebrate the miracle of the people of Israel and how they survived the Holocaust and survived other things that has been going on in their life. We need to celebrate the state of Israel.
Well, we do, and what's interesting for Americans is that we've always looked at Holocaust survivors and what happened in Nazi Germany and those type of things, and in complete awe of it. And
did you hear a story of a commander by the name of Eugene Leibovitz? It's a remarkable story. How can I share it with you very quickly? He's a guy in his teenager was caught by the Nazi, and they put him in jail, put him in the camps, and he fought the good fight until he was later on survived and liberated out of the camps, and he was shipped to Israel. At that time, it was under the control of the British Empire in the Mandate. And over there, he started working together with other Jewish people to form the nucleus of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces. And he was able to help establishing the state of Israel. And then when it's over, and he was able to accomplish that goal, and Israel was a state, he moved to the United States, in America, in California, and he started a business over there, and he became a very successful businessman. How many people you have a story like that? And he's still alive till today, and he's going to come and speak. He's 80-something years old. He has energy more than you and I. You cannot even imagine the energy that guy has.
Yeah, it's almost. I'm a little speechless when you think of it's like watching history before your very eyes.
Yes. And those people who came to America not asking for any kind of hands out. He come to America, running exactly like the next day he's starting his business and becoming successful. He never waited to ask for the government for handout or any kind of legitimate, handouts or help from the government. He helped the government of the United States. Right now, his mission actually to help the IDF soldiers who are, under stress or in any kind of situation, give them their needs, and also help the troops of the United States of America. How many people do you have like that?
Yeah, it's great American. I mean, this is what's the most astounding to me, Mark, is that we have the beginnings of what is looking like in the early 30s with Nazi Germany and Winston Churchill, and no one's paying attention. And Winston Churchill was the lone survivor as far as, talking about this. Finally, it got to be so bad that we realized what was going on. Then, of course, got into the war, but the atrocities in between.
Look at it this way, can you imagine, the Islamists running rampage like ISIS and others without Israel's existence and without the United States at this point? Can you imagine what happened to humanity if you have these forces and evil powers going on and running around without Israel in the Middle East? It's going to be a chaos. We have to understand that our safety and security is dependent on the mighty power of the United States of America. This is why we need to support America in every way we can.
Right.
The current administration is getting us weaker. They are not letting us have the safety and the security that we, need over here in America and in the West. And Israel is trying their best.